I pay taxes. I'll take whatever I want from state property.
I'm scared.
I'll take all of it.
I'm not sure
I'll
he
start
will.
my own little
Yeah,
collection.
but then you can catch curses like that real easy.
Oh,
Wait, I can catch a curse from stealing things from state property?
Not state
Do they
property.
are there like state appointed witches that like
Sacred ground.
curse things?
Consecrate
Bill
ground.
Lee.
Consecrated. I don't know if I used that word.
Constipated.
You tell me.
He's looking at you, Rooster.
you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Constipated.
There it is.
That's a scary word.
It's a good word.
When's the last time y'all have even been constipated? Like,
Do I have to talk about my bowel habits on the podcast?
what?
You did sign a contract.
It's a mess. I'll just say that.
Or a lack thereof.
It is a mess. You thought 2020 was crazy. It's 2020 every day.
Hey everybody, I'm Dane Holland, and my coffee's almost empty, and that makes me really sad.
I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I have a giant fire hydrant that I drink out of every day.
Well, I mean, it's not literally a fire hydrant.
They don't
I-
know.
That's the thing. This
when
is
he
an audio
said it was
medium,
a
and when you say
fire hydrant, I looked, and that's what I thought.
I mean, just it
It
looks,
worked on
it looks
me.
like a fire hydrant. It's the largest cup that I own, and that's what I call it. So
That's
it's-
not a cup.
we're not getting into semantics again.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
I'm Marcus Whitaker. And sometimes you just have to fight till you can't see.
Like
Wow.
Like, like while the sun's out, you're fighting and fighting, and then as soon as the
Just
sun
gotta
goes
fight till
down,
you
it's
can't
like
see.
everybody goes
Just
home.
to the end.
Till you can't see.
That's pretty brutal.
I want to fight now.
Yeah.
Can we just fight for your intro?
I'm the rooster.
This is Nerd It Through the Grapevine, a podcast where four best friends gather weekly and talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. And I did not forget to say this and have to plug it back into the beginning. Go on, Marcus. You went first, right?
I don't remember. Round one. Fight.
Fatality.
Did you know
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
You didn't know?
I had no idea.
That's amazing. Did you?
What?
How about you?
Did you know?
Did I know what?
I'm pretty aware.
In Mortal Kombat, the part where he goes, whoopsie. Well, that was good. But he actually says toasty and not whoopsie.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Why does he say toasty?
One of the creators of part of the game, it's his face that pops up in the corner.
I think it's like the creator.
Is
of
it the creator of
think
it? Okay.
so.
I have
The
a
maker.
vague memory of this, of seeing some kind of...
I wondered when we were
Think
going to
talking
get into
about
some
that.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, right? I don't know. I was trying to make it like organic. It's got to be organic.
Anybody ever heard of a game called Mortal Kombat?
Which one did
No.
you play?
Actually, though,
3,
when we kind of mentioned where it all started. I mean, Mortal Kombat was like one of the first games like I ever beat. It was one of the first games that I ever played that I wasn't supposed to play.
Oh, yeah.
Because you turned the
That
blood on.
I had to sneak and play it.
Wait, were there...
Mortal Kombat.
Were there blood options in the first one?
I don't think the first one. I think
I think the first one was just start game, pick character, fight. I don't know if there was.
Yeah, I
one
think you're
player-
right.
There was either story mode, which was.
I know
just
the second one had a blood option.
Yeah, I mean, because
But I felt like the
Goro was the
arcade
final
mode-
boss.
right.
So
Yeah.
I thought the arcade mode had blood. Oh man.
I don't think there was an. I don't know.
I really don't either.
I don't think there was a story mode or anything in the first one. I think it was literally just
Just
you
the
turn it
tower.
on. Here's this,
Yeah.
Fight until you get to Goro.
yeah, and then lose.
And there was only like what 8 characters?
Yes. or 7?
Very few.
So it was
a small selection in comparison to
Sonya
the
Blade,
giant
Liu Kang,
screen
Sub-Zero,
they have nowadays.
Scorpion.
Have you ever thought about
Raiden.
that? Like actually,
Raiden.
like sat and thought about like the evolution of the game since the beginning of it. Like
It's crazy.
but it was so realistic for that time because you had those like they were slightly pixelated, but they were people and moving and like movement poses.
I always got this weird, scary feeling. I always thought it was so like scary when I was little. Maybe it was because it was forbidden. You know, I wasn't supposed to be doing this.
It was
and
because
so it seemed like this ancient occult ritual that I was.
Well, mine wasn't that bad. I just knew that my brother was going to hit me every time I played it because it was his game and not mine. So if I ever got caught playing it, then it would be, hey, pap!
He got called a lot.
You know, and then, but then again, it was also one of those things to where I started to kind of figure out the way friends act around each other a little bit because, you know, I'm like 6 years old and not got a lot of buddies and everything else, but my brother, he's got these friends that would come over to the house to play Mortal Kombat. And I remember my brother's friend Brian used to be the cheese. Just the cheese. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say the cheese? Like that person.
With
no
their leg
idea.
in the corner.
Okay, it's yes. He would be the one that'll
Oh, yeah.
get you up against the edge of the edge of the screen and just waka 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 like sit there and just you know.
Pac-Man? You guys are playing Pac-Man?
No, you'd
okay.
you'd have to get that Johnny Cage high punch going on,
Yep.
where he'd say, waka,
And they
waka, waka,
couldn't
waka,
do
waka,
anything.
waka, waka. Yeah, and you'd just be stuck in the corner. You try to jump, waka waka waka. You try to get under, waka,
It's
waka,
just
waka, waka.
nothing you could do.
And my brother would be in there, and I was such a tattletale too as a kid because
What'd you do? Mom, he's doing the waka 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 again.
no, because
What I tell you?
because my brother would be in there just cussing up a storm at his friend, and I'd be like,
Mom! Michael said, damn it!
But you know, I think if she would have played, she would have said, damn it, too. Because it's a very aggravating game.
It was the first, I think probably the first images of brutality I think I'd ever seen as a kid.
It was awesome.
I mean, watching a skull and spine be ripped out of a body and held in front of the camera, and it wasn't 8-bit graphics. It was like these, almost like these pictures of these people doing the actions. Kind of, I don't know. It probably messed with me more than I thought. I've had probably plenty of nightmares.
oh yeah,
I know the movie, like
Loved
there was
it.
2 of them. 3.
Two of
Was
them.
it?
yeah.
there was Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation,
Yeah.
and I stopped at that because Annihilation.
There's
was,
an anime one, too. Have you seen it?
No.
yeah.
Oh,
like
it's
the-
good.
what, the
Anime or
Revenge of
just
Scorpion
animated?
or like
I
Scorpion
can't remember.
Story, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because
Yeah.
it covers Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and then it also covers Goro, where he fights
long is
his brother in the cave.
How long is it?
An hour?
It's a full length like
That,
animation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like it has a full. Baraka. They have this big like Baraka
Obama?
army show up. What?
An army of Barack Obamas.
Who do you think would win, an army of Barack Obamas or one Scorpion?
Scorpion.
How big's the army?
Yeah, probably. He doesn't have special powers or anything. He's just.
But how
cool
big
dude.
is the army?
How big? How big does
What is
an
an
army
army?
have to be an army? Well, what constitutes an army?
This is getting deep.
Kiss Army
Like 10.
would be in the thousands.
Millions.
The Kiss army.
Surely Kiss had at
don't
least
know-
a million
I don't know
people
if
in
the,
their army.
I don't know if the Kiss Army has millions.
Are you talking
No?
about Sonya Blade's fatality kiss?
Well, Gene Simmons has at least 10,000.
That's not fans.
Gene
Those are
alone.
those are potential.
Those are the best
those are-
fans.
Those
Those are
are
the biggest fans.
He has at least 10,000 potential spreaders of disease.
Concubines.
10-4, Rubber Ducky.
Have you seen his tongue? I mean,
Hey,
I haven't.
no.
Gene Simmons would be a good Shang Tsung.
Would he be?
You know, we just all looked up in the air.
Yeah,
like,
I expected to look up at my thought bubble
and to see,
and
yeah,
see it.
all of our
But I
thought bubbles
can't-
combined, and we all said no.
I
We're like,
can't
no,
do it.
Simmons as Shang Tsung.
I'd rather it be him than Paul Stanley, because if Paul Stanley was Shang Tsung, I couldn't take that list
No, he's
seriously.
Luke Kang. He's Luke
who,
Kang.
who would you cast if you did an original?
All right.
The original characters.
Have y'all ever seen that little live action like trailer? It was like a trailer, I guess, but it was really just more of like a introduction to like
Was
a
it
live action Mortal
a fan
Kombat
thing.
No, it was like it was actually a guy, I forget who it was, but he was actually trying to get it greenlit.
Oh, they did it.
He had Michael Jai White
It's in it.
as
It's a full
Jax. Well, it's like a web series, right?
on YouTube, but they actually took it in the. You can find it where it's all.
I
put
ended up
together.
watching some of it, but none of them lived up to that trailer, though.
Kind of like Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai was a web series that they just happened to pick up on Netflix, and now they,
But if I remember correctly, they did a lot of it, but then I don't know, I didn't think it was done very well. That first trailer, if you will, was really, really cool, and it introduced characters like Baraka, but like this real world type.
Yeah, like he was this messed up surgeon that
Yes,
decided he
that
would
just
do
went
implants
nuts.
on himself.
And just started putting different pieces on himself and stuff. And he ends up having this really cool fight with Johnny Cage in the trailer. Where was I going with that?
It doesn't matter. We're still
Anyway,
talking about Mortal Kombat.
I didn't like the webisodes or whatever. I think once it got from there, like they started doing animation and stuff too. They would like mix animation with like live action, and I just didn't like it.
I wish they'd do another anime of Mortal Kombat. I think that'd be amazing.
Mortal Kombat anime kind of that goes hand in hand with each other. I mean, just you can do anything you want to. It's not overly expensive to be able to make this happen. I just wish that people would take more time the way that like these little privatized studios, like these little fan studios, they will take dedication out the wazoo to make these true to the source material.
Wazoo was a Mortal Kombat character.
Yeah, he's the one with the hat with the razor blade on the edge of it, right?
Wow. Yeah.
That's Kung Lao.
Yeah, they came out with some really cool characters going on, and the most recent games are they
Phenomenal.
look incredible.
Have you guys played any
No.
of
It was
the
really
recent
big for
ones?
them to go back to the kind of side scroll thing. I think. Like,
Well, what they, I don't know if have you guys kept up with like the storyline of Mortal Kombat?
There's a cohesive storyline.
Yeah.
no,
there
cohesive,
is.
no,
Like,
but
there's
there is
no
a story.
way.
I get,
Well,
I get
what
it
they-
confused with
it-
Tekken all the time.
It got to a point though where like it got so crazy that they killed everybody and they reset the storyline.
Armageddon.
Armageddon, yeah,
That was one of the
that one,
coolest
yeah.
games.
but like everybody
Every
dies.
Mortal Kombat character,
Everyone
from
dies.
history in it.
Was that the one with the graveyard and you could like do stuff from the
No,
graveyard?
that was
the
9.
crypt or something?
8 or 9.
No, I think you might be right.
I think that's the last one I played.
Wait, no, I remember that one, and that was like PS2 era.
I don't know. I haven't played one forever.
They've had the graveyards everywhere though.
I'm not.
Like they're in the newer ones.
Oh, I don't really.
That idea
I
of like
haven't
going
played.
around and like unlocking stuff is in the newer games.
I've only
too.
seen the new ones. I've never played the new ones.
I've played like the one where they went back to side scrolling for the first time. I think it was 10 or 9.
Not 9.
Then I didn't play anything.
They went
after
away from side scrolling,
that. They went back to side scrolling.
but at one point they went away from it.
Yeah, they did more of like a 3D.
They did a 3D fighting like Tekken.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really?
'cause
Where you
And
can.
it was
that's-
cool. It
it
was
was
cool.
side-to-side
I mean, my
shit,
friends
so-
played a lot because you could get like to a side. You know, there were times where it felt like a side scroller, but
Okay.
if you just started coming towards the camera, then it's gonna keep rotating.
See, that's what I liked about Tekken, but for me, the fight game for me was Soul Calibur. Like,
Because you can create your character.
yes,
Yep.
I love Soul Calibur.
I don't think I ever played much.
No.
Soul Calibur.
I just the way my
Nightmare.
mind works with a fighting game, it just makes a whole lot more sense to me with weapons. Like I don't have that hand-to-hand combat like brain because for a lot of people who are the best at these games, it's not about like what's the most effective like fighting
about the
moves. It's about
exploits.
how do you break this game? How can I break this game better than you can? Like what?
Well, that's why I never enjoyed playing Mortal Kombat online.
Oh no, there's no way I would ever do that. And I think that's why I haven't gotten the newer ones because I mean, so many games are focusing more on the online aspect of it instead of just the single player experience. And I think I would only play the AI, which I mean, if they make enough different settings for the AI, it can feel like you're playing somebody real, but you just don't have that frustration of, oh, this person's cheating somehow. Of doing like mid-move breaks, like into another move, so like they know exactly when to hit a button to stop the animation of a thing to where it still hits you, but the animation's not happening.
They know
Like,
the
do it
frame
again.
rates like it's crazy.
It's so
That doesn't
ridiculous.
That doesn't even sound like you can enjoy that anymore to me.
No.
That seems more like, as you said, somebody trying to break the system as opposed to enjoying what the system has provided.
You're not playing a game. You're playing a code at that time. And you're just trying to
that's
break
what
the code.
most competitive video game stuff is how do you break? Well, I mean, even we've talked about it with Magic before.
Yep.
Like playing Magic the card game is like, how do I break these rules to beat this person? Like, how do I find the loophole? Like, and
Sleight of
exploit
hand.
it. So yeah.
Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand, because
Cheat immediately.
Oh, yes.
Because sleight of hand is essentially just a glitch in the matrix as far as somebody's brain is concerned. Mm-hmm. It's figuring out where the brain's weakness is and then exploiting that weakness. So
Kind of like how I stole your notebook.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. That's right.
It's so bright.
You made me look, though.
It's
That
so
was
bright.
good.
It's so pink, and my peripheral is
He did it
6
to us,
miles
not
long.
him.
No, he didn't look.
No, he
No, I
just
tricked you.
exploited our brains, not his. False alarm. False alarm.
That wasn't false alarm. No,
No, that was a warning.
that was abandoned ship.
That was a
That's what we
warning.
call a. That's what we call a 5-alarm.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm wearing my mask.
Yeah.
Good thing Rooster.
Still sound good.
Where's my mask?
Rooster, your mask won't prevent anything except for sex. That is definitely that is a sex preventative mask right there.
But I'm safe.
From everything but stupidity, my friend.
Y'all should see it. It's got sequins and
Holes.
It's beautiful.
I can see all the way through it.
You kind of
to
look
a
like
T.
Scorpion right now.
I know. Mortal Kombat.
Get that hood on.
Your might.
Get over here.
That phrase, I think that is the one phrase out of that entire
That
game
everybody
series
can quote.
that everyone knows.
Yeah.
That and the whoopsie toasty thing, because that's that weird. Would you consider that Mandela effect? Everyone knowing that was like
No.
whoopsie, or is that just a
You know-
mass mishearing?
Oh, I get what you. Yeah.
That would most likely be a mass mishearing, just because it's not enunciated to the point of where somebody can actually understand it. It's just
And it's so fast. It happens so quick.
Like they don't get it. Yeah.
No.
Do you remember how to unlock Reptile in the first game?
R1, R2, L1, R2, left down, right up, left down, right up. I've got the weapons pack now. I'm going to shoot you with a bazooka.
Wrong game.
Sorry.
Wait, you didn't do the AB part.
Oh, I was.
Oh, busted.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about
No weapons.
Speaking of another
You're dead.
catchphrase from Mortal Kombat, that besides, because when I played the one I played, the story mode, Shang Tsung was like always going around like wanting people to challenge him, and he would hear somebody like get mad. He'd be like, "Is that a challenge? Challenge?" And then finally one time he gets into the game, he's like, "Is that a challenge?" And then somebody walks off. He goes, "Oh." Like I was like, "What in the world?"
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
What-
Well,
that's
this was
really
in one of the
funny,
newer
though.
ones.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder
I
which
really-
one that would have been.
I would really
great.
like
It was
to
the
play the
first
newer
one that came
ones.
out on PS3. Pretty sure.
Actually, they probably got those for super cheap right now.
Oh, you can probably get it for like $3.
All right. Because I love fighting games. Fighting games are my favorite kind of game aside from like single person RPGs. Just because I don't like co-op play. I don't like having to rely on the internet to provide me a connection to people that are... I got broken on that because of For Honor. There was a game that came out called For Honor.
The samurai fighting game.
It's something like,
It had so much potential to be incredible.
God, it was so the in depth of the movement that you could make on there to actually be able to not break the system, but to be able to actually know when that motion was happening and train yourself to fight with your controller, because you could actually ghost somebody by faking that you're going to do a quick attack and then coming up with a slow, like the strong attack. And just stuff like that was amazing on it, but it glitched out every like 5 minutes. You'd be in the middle of an epic fight, like slaying hundreds, Dynasty Warriors style, and then it would be like, I'm transferring to lobby.
Yeah, I think they fixed a lot of stuff with it. It was just one of those that came out way too quick. Like the hype for it was so big.
hate
They had
that.
they had their date set to when it was coming out. Like for me, 10 days before it comes out, that's when tell us a date then. Like just say a game is coming like in this year. Start the merch, start all that crap, and then 10 days before it comes out, give us the date, because as soon as you set a date 2 years before the game comes out, now you're set to that, and then you piss off all these fans because you don't meet the deadline. Cyberpunk 2077 right now, like they went through a lot of delays, which they can use, and I know it had an effect on them, like, but with the pandemic, like they're like, okay, well, we can't work as much as we were before. But people are like death threats to the creators and things because this little picture game that I can't
People want their game.
play. They do, but there's like they want their game, but
It's
like
a simple explanation.
Yeah, obviously there's
there's
death
an
threats.
unlimited amount of like entertainment that you can be involved in.
Is
now.
it Cyberpunk 2077?
No, there's a tabletop RPG that the game's based on. Did you know that?
No.
No. No.
No, I didn't. I now know.
Anyway. Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Dun, dun,
Challenge.
dun, dun. Aw.
Is that a challenge?
My God.
Are you challenging me, sir? Well, your puny ninja powers are nothing.
It's good.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
And,
Ooh, he wins.
Yeah, he definitely beat you. Is that how we decide our order now? We just play paper, rock, scissors with each other? This is
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I think we just use our feelers.
Don't touch mine.
Yeah.
Use my
mine's,
feelers,
mine's
yeah,
story,
you
you
might.
can't get to it. So.
He's got it tucked away.
Tucked away in its storage compartment, aka my butt cheeks.
What?
How did you know?
I want to talk about Me, the movie.
Who?
You have a movie?
Me, the movie. I am Austin Shazam Pfeiffer, and I want to talk about Me, the movie. Shazam, the movie, came out in April of 2019. Zachary Levi was one of the main characters in it, who actually had less screen time than the kid that played the superhero. So basically, Shazam is about Billy Batson. Billy Batson is an orphan whose mother abandoned him, and he has to, he bounces around foster home to foster home. And the movie to me really was the new 52 accurate. Like the post, Shazam was Captain Marvel before the name change. That happened, I think that was about, I want to say 2012 or 13, something like that.
Is it in your Hello Kitty notebook?
It's not in my. I didn't post that in the note postings, just because it's something that's in there rattling around in my head.
He knows it.
But to actually grab that out of the brain, it's not happening. But since like not the 1930s up into the the mid 2000s, Shazam was known as Captain Marvel. There's a lot of stuff going on with Captain Marvel in the legality aspects of the comic book world, because Marvel had a Captain Marvel as well, that while Captain Marvel in the DC universe was kind of not talked about or heard about, or it's kind of swept under the rug for a little while, just a B character. The other Captain Marvel kept gaining popularity from Marvel. So whenever they decided, hey, we can bring back this Captain Marvel character in the DC universe, they had some trouble with people clinging on to it a little bit, because they were getting confused between Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel, DC. Even though I do like the idea of just the simplification of just saying Shazam. It's not like I'm that diehard of a old school fanboy that it can't be fun because you just say Shazam.
Well, I mean,
I like that.
Think if
I
Marvel
think
had a
it's unique.
superhero called like Mr. DC or something.
Yeah, they
It's
do.
kind of weird that being the two biggest comic names and then having a character that has the other company's name in it. So I understand why they would want to change it.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, but no, it's really
You do know, 'cause you're talking about it right
the
now.
I don't know is basically just my way of just brushing off the whole thought of all the different stuff that I could talk about when it comes to Shazam for like 100 years worth of stuff. It's insane, and I don't know. He used to outsell Superman in the comic book world.
He did.
And that's the reason that the DC decided that they were going to sue Fawcett Comics.
Fawcett.
Fawcett Comics.
Fawcett.
I like
Excuse
to say
me?
it wrong to upset people.
Which one?
Fawcett.
Fawcett. Fawcett Comics.
That was the company that originally created Shazam or Captain Marvel at the time.
And they just wanted something, and the reason behind it was it's always been the same idea: is be your own hero. It's be the change that you want to see. Just because what happens is Billy Batson, this orphaned kid, gets taken by surprise. I mean, there's different iterations of it of how he gets to where he's getting, but most of the time it ends up being subway. Subway transforms into portal. Portal takes to Rock of Eternity, which is the universal source of magic. So the Wizard Shazam is the one who is in charge of the magic, and he's the last of the Council of Wizards. And he has chosen a hero. In the movie, it's based off the newer arrangement of stuff, which is going to be like he's tried and tried and tried and tried to find this person with a pure heart and a pure soul to be able to inherit his power. And that's going to be the way that the Council of Magic is kept alive, basically, is by passing on their power to more worthy individuals later on down the line. So it's like a form of immortality, but sustained by magic. And
I can get behind that.
yeah, it's really cool.
Artifacts.
The movie, though, is what I wanted to talk about, and I got off topic really bad, but it was on the same topic. But the movie was what I wanted to talk about.
Setting the stage.
Yeah. Mark Strong played a really good Dr. Savannah in the movie, even though he was way OP in comparison to what he is in any of the comics or any kind of other iterations of him. I liked how OP he was in the movie, just because it simplified it and made it easy to follow.
Who is he?
Mark Strong plays Dr. Savannah. Dr. Savannah was a child whenever the wizard decided to take him to test him to see if he was worthy of the powers of Shazam. And instead, he was tempted by the 7 deadly sins of man in order to, see if he's actually got a good soul or he's not got a good soul. So if you've got a good soul, you're able to shake them off and to able to actually continue with what the wizard's proposing to you, as opposed to if you don't have a good soul, the 7 deadly sins of man can just whisper to you and pretty much just change the way you're looking at anything. And they tempt you to let them take control of you. So he failed. He was just a kid and he failed, and it permanently scarred him because as soon as he failed, he was in the back seat of his dad's car, and they were
He's getting tested.
Yeah, so they were driving down this road, and all of a sudden it was like it turns into a portal, and you are in the Rock of Eternity, and he doesn't know how he got there, and he's still in the vehicle, but the vehicle is now just like this frozen shell. Like his dad and his brother that were in the front seat are no longer there. He opens up the door, and now he's in this giant cavernous castle. Kind of like a mixture of a cave, a cavern, and a castle, all in one.
Yeah, imagine being a kid and seeing magic be real, and then being taken back to reality, like to where.
And you can't tell anybody.
And
How old
yeah.
was he?
He was probably about 8 or 9. Oh, so he was old.
Becoming a man.
So he was old enough. He was old enough to be cognitive and people not. He was old enough for people to say grow up. He was old enough that people aren't like, oh, that's funny, oh, that's cute. He was old enough for people to be like, grow up. You need to stop living in this fantasy world. So he's literally transported to the source of all magic, and he comes back talking about it, and his dad gets so upset with him that he wrecks the car. Because he's like, shut your mouth. Why are you acting so stupid back there? I'm going to look back at you on this icy road and, car wreck. So
That's what his dad said?
Yeah, exactly. Just
He yelled, "Oh, car wreck!" as it's happening.
car wreck.
That'd be a very Velocipaster.
Yeah.
That was a long
movie
drop.
moment.
Oh, Velocipaster.
That's
Have
a
you
good
seen
reference.
that yet?
No. That's a good.
Oh my god.
That's a whole nother movie for a whole nother day.
Velocipaster.
It's like one of those intentionally poorly made movies
Sharknado.
to the point where it's impressive
Fantastic.
how bad it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jaiman, I think that's how you pronounce his name. DJIMAN. Jaiman, is that how you pronounce his name?
DJ
Hosa
I-N.
Honso? Jaiman Honso?
Sounds good to me.
Jaiman Honso? You ever seen the movie Never Back Down?
Have I never seen it?
Have you ever seen the movie Never Back Down?
It's a fight movie.
It's a fight movie,
It's
MMA movie.
It's a punch
Jackman?
movie.
No.
It's a puncher though.
It's a puncher kicker.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood?
Okay. No. What about
Clint Eastwood's a shooter?
Yeah.
That's a shooter movie.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
a
a
shooter
puncher.
movie. Yeah,
but
he's
this
not
also
much of
has
a-
kicks. You were right.
kicker.
It's a puncher kicker.
Punch and kicker.
So it's not just
Puncher
a puncher
kicker.
like Rocky. Like Rocky's just a puncher.
Conor
Rocky's not a
McGregor.
puncher kicker.
Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
That's a real fighter.
He's a punch kicker. So imagine
He's
a
a punch
movie
kicker.
based
About
on what
punch
his his career is, like what he does for a living.
Yeah.
This is a movie about
So it's
that.
the notorious B.I.G. movie.
The 7 deadly sins of man were wrath, gluttony, envy, lust, pride, greed, and sloth. And in the movie, those characters were absolutely terrifying. It's gluttony was the scariest one for me, and Dane does the same thing. Like, we watched the movie here recently just to kind of, because the first time I watched it, I wasn't able to actually grasp how cool it was because I was so nervous, because I was actually asking my fiance, now getting married really soon, Trudy,
6 days.
that's where I proposed to her, because when all of your friends are always around, and then some of them are never around, like you've got these different groups that you have to bring together. What's a way that a person can actually get those groups of friends together and it not be something that's, like conspicuous or something? How else are going to give it away? And that was the movie about
Shazam.
me.
Well, because everybody, like, he's been waiting for a live action version of his favorite hero, his like nickname sake, for years and years and years and years.
His life.
And then we finally get it.
It's life. And it finally paid off.
Yeah.
Did it pay off
Oh, it was good.
better than you expected?
Actually, yes. The movie ended up being way better than I expected, because I don't go in with expectations because I don't watch trailers.
But
See
you've
how this works?
you've already kind of admitted like you were nervous that it was going to be bad.
That's just because there's always that possibility with DC making any kind of movie.
Yeah, or anybody making any kind of movie.
No, more so with DC.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
M.
know.
Night
I'll give that
Shyamalan
one to
makes
you.
good
Yeah, I'll give
movies.
With Marvel movies, you don't go in. What did you say?
Don't get him. Don't go again.
No, hold on.
No.
What did you say?
No,
was
I
a
can't.
callback.
He said don't.
Call.
Oh,
I'm not trying to.
I'll listen back to it when I listen to the episode. Oh, that's what he was talking about. Okay.
Then-
But the movie was a mixture of action and comedy, and it was a good story. The comedy parts of it were very kind of risque, in my opinion, which is great because I love it. But in order for him to transfer his powers to his other siblings, which is a major plot point in the movie, so I'm sorry for spoiling it for people, but I really don't care. This is my movie, so you can do whatever. But he said, "All right, touch my staff and say my name," which he's got this magic wizard staff that was the wizard Shazam's, and he needs them to touch the staff so he can transfer all those magical powers into them. And the first response was, "Yeah."
And he even, like, Billy does the same thing whenever the original wizard tells him to do it. It's just an immediate response of, ew, gross.
Billy Batson, touch my staff and say my name. Ew. Who are you, random dude in the cave with a beard? But
Staff.
the other best part of the movie for the comedy, like the comedy.
The committee is the committee of comedy.
No,
That's
the committee
the
is
committee
the,
of comedy.
the committee is the saturation
That's
of
a good
comedy
one.
in the air.
Saturated comedy.
Whew, there's some
committee.
There's some committee in this room.
Yeah.
I'm sweating in
Yeah, there is.
That was good.
committee.
We're gonna add it to the. We're gonna add it to the list.
Comedy.
You have a list?
The classic
list of
superhero baddie standing away from each other mid-flight, kind of that I'm over here, you're over here, I'm going to give you my dramatic monologue. You are not the hero that you think you should be. You are nothing but a Hey man, I can't. You're all the way over there. You're like a mile away. I can see you. Are you talking?
It was,
It was
it was one of those moments to where, like, he's got a lot of power similar to Superman, but he's also lacking some areas Superman is as well. So this is one of those moments
Shots
where
fired.
it reminds you, like, not all superheroes have super hearing. Like,
Yeah.
just because he has super strength and can fly and super speed, it does not mean that he has super hearing as well. So
I mean, he's got a lot of powers that Superman doesn't have, and people don't even talk about them. Just because, interdimensional travel with the blink of an eye. As long as he can access the power of Zeus and actually be under control what he's doing, because he's still a kid at heart and in brain. So him developing all these powers over time, it takes a lot. But
What'd you say about Zeus?
oh,
He has
that's
the powers of
Shazam
Zeus.
is an acronym for all the powers that he possesses: the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury.
So were those people all like
Greek
tied
gods.
into the lore? Somehow tied into the lore of him. Like are they connected to that same source of magic?
Yes.
Okay.
And there are different ones from different time periods, just like Black Adam, who's going to be played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Which means it's automatically going to be a huge movie.
It's automatically going to be.
It's going to be the best one.
Even physically, just size, it's going to be a huge movie. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on Shazam the movie, let you guys know that it's very cool, and I'm surprised that you haven't seen it, Richard.
I've waited to watch it.
I'm not
So I can
surprised
watch it with
Marcus
you.
hasn't
I
seen it.
wanted
I didn't
to wait
even know
to
it was
watch
out
it
yet.
with
I
you.
knew it was a thing, but I didn't even know it was out yet.
You watch trailers.
Yeah, and that's
What's
how I
your
knew
excuse?
it existed.
But commercials are different from trailers.
What do you mean?
You don't see commercials. They're like all these because you don't watch like live TV. Live TV. You don't like live TV.
You don't watch that TV.
See, I think that's why you wouldn't see
Ricky?
all the trailers for it and stuff like that too.
But I mean, I've probably seen the trailer on YouTube, but then I just
Right.
never knew that it actually came out.
Right.
I figured out. Yeah, I don't know. I usually know when stuff's coming out, at least roughly, but not that one. That one missed. I missed it.
But yeah, that's it. That's all. I just
There you
wanted
go.
to touch on the movie, and I really liked it. And I think
I'm
everybody
glad
should watch
you
it.
touched it.
Gross.
Thanks, Ricky.
Every time.
Yeah, I know. He throws rock every time, but
Every time.
Just so you know,
but I throw scissor every time. So
I'm going to play cockroach.
Good, because I'm going to talk about a game. A board game.
What?
Yep.
I love board games.
Risk.
Oh no.
Have you guys played it?
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever played a full game of it.
What?
But
That's common. That's very common. That's
I
like
have
most people have never
never
finished a
played
game of
Risk.
Monopoly either.
You've never played
Never played Risk.
any version of it.
Not
We
once.
own both Risk and Lord of the Rings Risk.
Well, nobody's ever taken the time to sit downstairs and play a game with me. So
I'm sure you're
We
going to
need
talk
to
about
play
the
it.
amount of time it takes.
Oh, it takes forever. Actually, it really does.
Oh, I know.
The length of this game varies dramatically. You can sit down and play a game in about 3 to 5 hours. I've also sat down and played a game that's lasted about 10 to 12 days. So it just depends.
wait, a 10 to 12
Days.
long tabletop game?
Tabletop game. And that's because most of the time you just get mad and fed up.
Flip the table.
Yeah, oh yeah, it happens a lot. You would be very surprised.
You can't quit Settlers of Catan. That
The swings in the game are crazy. Basically, all it is. So, like the original game was designed with like a world map, and it was just the basic 7 continents, and they broke it down. I think on like 44 countries inside the continents, and it was just a world domination game for 2 to 6 players. I believe is what it was.
2 people playing Risk. I mean, you can.
You can. It's nowhere near
No,
as fun.
No.
Having an even number of people makes the most fun because you make treaties. It's a diplomacy game as well. So as you're playing, you make treaties with people, and it adds to the depth of what you do, who you can trust while you're playing. It's crazy good. They come out with. I had the list right here actually.
You do. It's a digital list.
Way too many to write down.
It was a number with too many digits for pen and paper.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes. No, it's true.
Okay, I get it. It's true. It's true.
And I lost it. It went off.
What?
Oh no.
What in the name of Kurt
There's
Angle?
over 30 expansions to Risk, where it's like different
But the world's only so big.
different lores. So, like you said, there's a Lord of the Rings one. There's 3 different Star Wars ones. There's a Game of Thrones one. There's actually 2 Lord of the Rings. There's Halo, Napoleon, where it's based more on naval battles. Risk Godstorm, that's based in Greek philosophy. 4210, which is a super, like, they're blowing up the moon and stuff. It's an insane version. There's Halo, Transformers. I can't even think of everything off the top of my head.
So they don't just do
Anything
like
that has
like
a
in
map,
the world.
anything that you can make a map of, there's a Risk version of it.
So anything
So
that's
it
been,
covers any. Yeah.
been predetermined, like this is where this all takes place in this galaxy far, far away and all that. And they can just plot it out.
So the Star Wars ones, they use planets
See.
instead of. So you just have planets in the different systems, and you go and take over the planets, and it's whoever takes over the galaxy first.
A
You
lot
ever
of these.
notice that?
What?
No.
That in Star Wars, it's kind of like planets or countries. There's not a lot of
Yeah.
there's not a lot of cohabitation happening on these
Not a lot of
planets.
That's either
cities.
like there's a
on
desert planet, an ice planet, or a jungle planet.
Yeah.
It's all one big, just one planet, just one jungle on this
planet.
planet.
Well, there's only a few cities on the planets.
Yeah. It's just easier to grasp. I mean, but you think about it. Whenever, what is that called? Interplanetary
travel?
Travel. Yeah, interplanetary travel. If we have all these options of different planets to live on, like it would make sense for planets in themselves to not have a whole lot of big like cities, right?
yeah, at
Because
least at
if you,
first.
if you don't have to build them like close to each other, if you can just hop in a ship and go to the next planet and go.
Some planets are just livable, and there's no actual cities. It's just,
Jakku. It's hardly livable.
Dagobah.
But
Yoda's
you
the only person there.
Bless you.
I can't
Thank
talk
you.
this morning.
Jakku.
Some of these, like whenever there's a different license that's given for Risk, the mechanics change based on the
Slightly.
licenses.
Correct.
Which is
The
cool
original
thing and-
the original game had just pieces and dice, nothing else. And then they introduced cards with specific missions. Then Lord of the Rings, for example, introduced commanders. Godstorm introduced gods that could like oversee the battles. And like you said, every version of it has its own unique Star Wars version. Whoever plays the dark side can actually execute Order 66, and all the clones could potentially turn to your side in a roll of a dice. Like
so it's not just a reskin, which is cool. It's not just
it's a
putting different stickers on
rethought
stuff.
of everything on it.
Yeah. And some of them work, and some of them probably
Some
don't.
of them are.
Yeah.
Transformers is probably the worst one I've ever played.
Nothing sounds good about that. Trying to take over stuff as Transformers, like fighting game Transformers. Okay, cool.
Not Risk.
Not
What
Risk.
was that,
Is it
Marcus?
Prime?
Is it still you?
Something is happening to me.
But have you guys ever? I mean, you've played it.
Yeah, I played it
made
at your
you play
house.
it.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
made
I
you
think
play
that was
it.
the first time
You've
I'd ever
never
played it.
I've
it.
never played Risk.
You have played it, but never finished
Yeah,
it.
very, very casually.
What
yeah.
version did you play?
I think it's just like the straight up.
Straight
version.
up. You played Lord of the Rings.
No. Did we play? I think you had the Gods one, right?
I had that one also.
Yeah.
I have like 7 or 8 different. Oh god.
Rubbing your mustaches.
If you get to do it, I get to do it too. I invented it.
I thought there was
Marcus
static
has been-
going on. I was like,
Marcus
what
has
is
been holding
happening
back
right
this
now?
whole time, waiting.
There's been several times I've caught myself like, whoa. Nope, can't do that right now.
Starting to lean in.
He gets
There's
creepy.
people here.
He creeps closer and closer to the fluff, and he's like, oh, "I'm touching the fluff." Oh.
So good.
I thought there was static.
No, just mustache.
Superhero.
Hey, if we
Just
do it long enough,
mustache.
maybe there will be some static.
Oh man, and I can fly on a trash can.
And then I really will be Electric Man.
Oh no. You've done it.
I would love that.
Risk is one of those games that you've got to be dedicated to the game session in order to even start, because it's it's going to take hours.
If you sit down with 4 people, and the ones that I played the most were Lord of the Rings and Godstorm. If you sit down with 4 people, you can honestly play a game for 4 days.
What's the map like in that Lord of the Rings one?
Middle Earth. It's
The
just
whole of
the
Middle
whole
Earth?
thing. Yeah,
I've got it in the basement if you want to see it.
it's awesome. It's very the
don't wanna go to the
expansion
basement.
added 3 new territories, like massive territories. It's pretty neat.
But
Pretty neat.
the game mechanics,
Simple.
like it is pretty simple.
It's so you can in all the Risk games you can only ever attack with 3 people, and so if you're attacking, you can only roll 3 6-sided dice, and if you're attacking me and I'm defending, as long as I have 2 people, I can roll 2 dice. So it's the most complicated it can get is 3 dice versus 2, and it's 6-sided. Some of the games introduce like D8s or D10s or +1 to the highest dice and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. but that's simple mechanics.
You're just trying to overrun the opponent, but while also not thinning out your army too
I
much
mean, it's
as
kind
well.
of a numbers game
So,
at the same time, right?
It is.
Correct.
Yeah.
You get reinforcements every turn. You deploy them wherever you want on territories you control. I would love to sit down and play a game of Risk with all of us.
There were 4 of us. You could say 4.
I was thinking, can I say 4?
yeah.
Would it be 3? The 3 of you
The 4 of us.
or the 4 of us?
Include yourself. I want you to play too.
Yeah.
If I wanted to play with the 3 of you,
But the
have to sign a waiver.
not the 4 of us.
Where you've heard that people like will flip the table and stuff on this game, the rage happens is because there can be like backstabbing and stuff.
So I can make a deal with you and say, hey man, I'm not going to attack you. And so you let your defenses down. We'll make a 2-turn treaty. 2 turns I won't attack you here. So my turn I don't attack you. Your turn you don't attack me. And it gets back around. So on my next turn I'm not supposed to attack you. But what if I do?
What if he does? What if you?
There's no rules against
Yeah.
it.
Right.
So
All I gave you was my word that I wouldn't attack you.
So you're in the agreement of I've got this treaty made. I'm going to attack this side, not your side. Okay, cool. Here we go. I got you.
But is it just that simple, or can you make more make more complex treaties?
I've played games where we've walked in and put we brought $21 bills. And so you could
Hold on.
20.
$21 bills don't exist. It goes from 20 to 50.
No, he meant $21 bills.
Oh, I couldn't cash
That's what I'm
out.
saying.
21
$21 bills don't
individual
exist.
dollar bills.
Only
20 individual
21.
ones of the dollar amounts.
21.
I've got a piece of paper.
I don't know. I'll look it up later.
I'll rip it up and I'll show you.
Okay, cool.
Start over. All right. So I want to talk about Risk.
Run it back.
Skirt.
That was a good callback.
That's a good plug.
I've heard it.
He's
Stuck in my head.
Yeah, he's listened to
He
a
made a
lot
song
of this
about
for
it.
special songs, which will be coming soon to the public. The special
knowledge.
songs Marcus
Public
has made.
knowledge. So no, but you can just break treaties, and it's hilarious when it happens because normally whoever gets screwed over is very angry at the time.
Yeah, because it's not like whenever treaties and stuff get broken in IRL,
Right.
it's going to be something that is just a major inconvenience as opposed to like, mass genocide or something.
Yeah. Correct.
But mass genocide on paper looks like it'd be very fun in Risk, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's on a board.
If you're a megalomaniac.
I can't even spell that word.
Mega.
Low.
Maniac.
That's
Nailed
how you
it.
spell it.
That's a
We did it. We spelled it.
Yeah, that's a dwarf superhero.
As a group. Mega low
Really?
maniac. That makes me happy. I enjoyed that. Thank you. Now we have to create that character. That's wonderful.
He could be my enemy.
Oh, he could be part of the
I could fight.
Grapevine Wrestling League.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's the MegaLowManiac!
Thank you for putting your hand over the mic after you've yelled.
That's what I was.
After I heard it completely fuzz out in my ear hole, I'm like, oh no.
You yelled, "My God!"
Yeah, and then threw your hand over it.
Well, that's what JR does. Except he just bends his ear mic.
He's a legend. We should do an entire episode of just about Jim Ross and our favorite calls of his.
I wouldn't have enough
Don't get him
background in
confused
it.
with Jeff Ross, because that's
Jeff Ross is funny too.
He's the jokester man, right?
Well, it depends on what you define. A
He does the
joke as.
roasts.
Yeah.
Roasts.
I love roast.
Dude, I love eating the roast, but as far as listening to roasts,
I'm on the
I
fence.
don't know.
I love it.
Do
The
you-
Hasselhoff one was pretty funny.
I think it really depends on who they're doing it to.
Yeah, it does.
The
Right.
roast of
But if
Bob
they-
Saget was pretty funny.
If they have enough
Yeah.
good comedians up there,
Yeah.
then they can do it.
That's just mean stuff just isn't as funny to me.
Oh, God, I
but
love mean
Meme,
mean,
Mina.
mean,
Mina,
mean.
Many.
Yeah.
That's where you messed up.
Uh-huh.
I love John Lovitz on the Bob Saget one. He's Bob Saget likes to do it in his kitchen, do it in his kitchen. His kitchen means his butt. It's just him being. It's just John Lovitz. He's an idiot, and it got me because everybody else is like really harsh and trying to be mean about it. And he just gets up there, sings a little ditty. Here's you a ditty,
Is she a duty?
a ditty.
Diddy.
Like
Jack and Diane.
like your dad.
Oh.
Hi, Daddy.
Did you point in the sky?
Our Father who art.
Art.
That's Bob Ross. That's Our Father who art in heaven.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Everybody laugh.
Yeah. Everyone laugh. What?
put
What do
that
you
on
think?
the
What
loop.
was your brain just doing?
There was, because you had the topic about Bob Ross once and how everybody tries to market and stuff
Yeah.
with it. I was at some place the other day and seen like these, or I saw
There we
these
go.
like
Ooh.
easels of, I don't know, it was just like really tacky, like, hey, Bob Ross is on the packaging, buy this. And it just made me think of your topic.
That's real. I wasn't making it up.
Yeah. Well,
He
I
didn't
saw for
believe it
myself.
until then.
Yeah.
Saw it for my own eyes.
He was a skeptic.
Never trust me until you
I'm
see
always
it.
a skeptic.
Have I talked about scalping yet? Scalpers? Not like
Oh.
not like cutting
No.
the head scalp.
Let's
off
talk
of
about
people.
it.
No,
Let's go ahead.
No.
Let's just
no. Talking about like
warning.
people that go-
Graphic content ahead.
No.
Scalping tickets.
People that like the tickets or merchandise and like action figures and things like that.
I mean, just
Like bot scalpers and
People,
stuff like that
a
too?
scalper is someone who goes and buys up the inventory of a highly sought out item that people have been waiting for. They buy up all the inventory, so there's none for anyone to be able to get. You are
just
really
playing with
going
his
at your belly button right
Just
now.
the belly button fingering. Ain't nothing going
I
on.
felt an itch in my belly button. I wasn't
hope
making
you
it.
We
got
all
this.
looked at,
Yeah.
we all looked deep into it.
yeah.
I
At
got
one
lost.
point, I think I was the first. You got stuck, and I saw
was
you,
stuck.
and then you.
I'm
Got
sorry. The first thing I think when I feel a tickle on my body is there's a bug somewhere.
Yeah. Scalpers? Yeah. Scalpers, they buy up all this product to where no one else can get it in stores or online, and then they resell it on eBay or something similar for a 100% markup, even above that. And it's absolutely infuriating because whenever the biggest, there are two big examples for me with this is when The Force Awakens came out. I think it was me, you, and a friend, Austin Fondren. I think maybe.
He is a friend of ours.
He is a friend of ours. And
Shout out.
at midnight, whenever there was the toy line was going to be revealed and come out in stores for The Force Awakens. Star Wars, for if anyone doesn't know, The Force Awakens is a Star Wars movie. But anyway, it's the first new Star Wars movie in forever, and new merch is very exciting. So we stayed up and waited and went to Walmart midnight, waited for the toy line to come out for us to officially be able to buy something from it. And there was this little kid there with his mom, where they obviously stayed up all late for this kid like to be able to get one of these toys. But there was this man that had his shopping cart, and he, as soon as they like set out the display of all the action figures, this man took his arm, went into the backside of where all the toys were, and shoved them all into his cart. And he took every single thing. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. Were you even there, or am I making this up? You weren't even a part of it, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Because in my head, you had to have been. So never
No.
mind. Richard wasn't there at all.
I really wasn't.
No.
But
Anyway.
I'm aware of the story. I know it.
Maybe it was just me and Austin Fondren anyway.
It was.
But yeah, I watched this man. Like, luckily, I had already grabbed one that I wanted, but he just put every single piece of merchandise on this little island display for the movie into his cart. And this little kid's just standing there with his mom, and like the only things that were left were just like obviously not something that a kid's gonna really enjoy. It's not an action figure or whatever. And he was just like, he almost started to cry, like, and his mom was just sitting there, and there's nothing, they felt like there was nothing they could do, and I was furious. Oh, I was so angry. And then we get to the checkout, and at that point, I don't think they had the self-checkouts, and there was only like one or two lines open that late at night. And the guy's in front of me with his cart full of all of these Star Wars toys, and there's this kid behind us with his mom, and he has one, but it's not one he really wants. It's just they figured, well, let's get something. We stayed up all night to be here. So I look at the guy, and I said, hey man, and I pointed back at the kid. I was like, let that kid come up here and pick something out of your cart. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, look at what you're doing personally to this kid. I get this is how you probably make your money, but one of these toys is not going to matter. Like, let him do it. And then he's just kind of, fine, whatever. like because he I guess for a split second he was embarrassed.
Ooh, that sent me anger. That made
Yeah.
Oh.
no.
No,
thought he got
can't.
brain
I don't
freeze.
get mad about stuff, but just the way that
Yes,
was just
that's
described
right.
to me, like I just had to punch somebody feeling.
Yeah. Well, I don't have many things that make me. Oh no, he's not going to punch me. You're good. I don't have many moments to where I want to interact with strangers, especially with conflict, because I am a pacifist by nature, like 100%.
It was your true superhero powers coming out.
Man, but when I see like an adult acting like that to
Like a child?
like a child, but if a kid was like rich, that's what they would do, just buy all of them. But and the kid was able to go up there and get like pick one out that he wanted and then got back in line with his mom, and his mom was like, "Thank you so much." I was like, "Well, of course." Like,
What an
I would have given
idiot.
him mine.
Was she
My
a
gift
single
given
mom, and
mine.
was she cute?
I don't remember.
Well,
Just remember the moment.
She fell in love.
No.
There's sorry. There are
Let's just punch the table. There. I'll punch the microphone. There.
I have not made any noise yet.
Yes, you did.
There-
Earlier you did. You hit the bottom of it like you always do.
Oh, I did.
there are people, mostly older men, that do that. Like, they'll show up at Walmart at 6 a.m. saying, "I know y'all got a truck with Hot Wheels on it, and there's supposed to be this one Hot Wheel on it." Like, somehow they think they know like what is being sent to this Walmart. Like, but they're bad about it, because I used to work at the toys in
When-
Walmart, and they would freak out. They
When-
would make you go back to the back,
No,
get your
it's-
box, and just take everything out of the box and looking for like some specific Hot Wheel.
Yeah. When the AEW wrestling action figures came out, we didn't get our shipment on time. It was like 3 weeks behind. We had people up there every day calling, asking, wanting to know when they were going to be there, what time they could show up to get it.
Because it's the first ever line of that wrestling federations or whatever action figures.
We were selling them for 20, and I think they were going online. Some of them for 80 already.
wait, was Orange Cassidy one of them?
Sadly,
He'll be in wave 2.
confirmed.
The most recent confirmed because I said it.
Yeah,
Good.
Confirmed
yeah,
here.
it's just-
Yeah. You heard it first.
breaking.
Breaking news.
The most recent one to frustrate me with computer parts, with the newest graphic card line, NVIDIA has come out with the 3000 series. It's called the 3070, the 3080, and the 3090. They are, that middle one, the 3080, is like on paper, and what they've done tests on it now, that it is better than one of the best graphics cards you can possibly buy before this series, but at like half the cost. It's a $700 graphics card as opposed to like $1,400, which is now the 3090's price now. But anyway, so these amazing new graphics cards come out to where it's actually a semi-affordable way for you to play extremely high-definition games. And people have programmed bots to where as soon as the code on the website allows for purchase, the bot goes immediately through the entire process of purchasing it, because it already has the credit card information of the buyer installed in it. So there were people, including me, that on the website, whenever the card was, it showed the card, and notify me was the button because it wasn't out yet. And it was supposed to go from notify me to purchase. But instead it went immediately, like I'm sitting there, refresh. It went from notify me to sold out instantaneously. There was no time in between, like notify me and sold out. Never saw
the purchase.
It was
or
so
whatever.
bad that a lot of people didn't really believe that it actually launched. Because that's how so few people actually got them. But then the next day on eBay, you see them going. This is a $700 graphics card. They're going on eBay for $2,000 because people have to have it right now. And the main issue is, yes, the scalpers and your butthole. That's
Yeah.
that's
That's
probably
the
the
biggest
issue that
Biggest
we're dealing
issue,
with.
for sure.
You need to probably go grab a tissue for this issue because you're making a mess.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no.
Please don't.
No.
Please
It's-
don't.
No, he did.
The biggest issue of my topic is the scalper, is the people doing this. But your mask is so stupid. It's so stupid. Was I talking about baseball cards? Okay.
Scalpers.
Thank you. But another huge issue is people are actually buying them. Like they're buying the products that people are
Because they
doing
need 'em.
because they, well, quote unquote, need this new
They're trying to
graphics
make
card.
money. They're trying to.
Well, you've got a bunch of people who do make their money like reviewing products and unboxing and like streaming games, and it's like to be the first person on Twitch to stream a game using the new 3080 graphics card. Like everyone's going to tune into that. But yeah, this $700 graphics card, people bought all of them up immediately
To sell
and
them for
to
way more.
sell them for way more. And
Well,
it's
just
how
like
they
when
make
the
their money.
pandemic happened, there was these people, I think in Tennessee, wasn't it, that got in trouble for hoarding
The
hand
sanitizer.
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 Yep.
The law got involved with that.
Toilet paper. You know, we actually quit accepting returns on hand sanitizer and toilet paper.
Good.
Because so
Yeah.
many people were hoarding them and trying to bring them back.
Good. They can go ahead
Actually
and just
quit.
Just all those people that are trying to do all that to make a profit and to sell them for scalping prices like that. Like,
One of the worst ones
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
terrible.
recently was when the Black Panther passed away. Chadwick Boseman, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Somebody came in and bought every Black Panther action figure, like every single thing that he was in, came and bought, and I was like,
Man, that sucks.
Yeah.
It's exploitation.
I
Like,
hated
it's
that.
all
because I can't say
exploiting.
anything, I can't say anything,
Right.
So I just had to sit
Yeah.
there. But I'm like,
You could and lose your job.
because
yeah,
Black Panther's a lot of kids' favorite superhero like now, and
Yeah.
and if they hear that news, their parents hear that
just
news.
him as a
and they
person
wanna-
was awesome. Like
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
like
He's
just
an amazing
just
guy.
him as a person was
Yeah.
cool, and the fact that the guy's trying to exploit his death for money, I just
I saw this
kills
video.
me.
Y'all might
But
have seen it
that's
too.
the scalping. That's exactly what it is.
Apparently, he had this like charity where he would go and like help kids with
Right,
some
yeah.
pretty bad illnesses. And there's like some footage of him talking and getting kind of emotional, talking about it. And then come to find out that, like, because it was a secret that he
was
was
going through
struggling
it.
it himself.
Cancer.
And so I saw that the other day, and it was like, dang, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
this
that's
is
what I
bad.
mean.
You know,
Like,
and-
he himself is just a good person.
And
Yeah.
there's points on the internet to where they were actually making fun of how much weight he had lost because they thought he was preparing for a secret role of some sort. And they're like, "This is absolutely disgusting. Why would you want to do this to your body? You don't look like a superhero like you're supposed to, and this and that." And turned out the dude is just dying the entire time from
Yep.
cancer. So all those people, they can. I don't know when you're going to bleep out stuff or not. So I got to catch myself. But
I'll get ready. I've got my finger on the bleep button.
They can eat hell.
They can go themselves.
Oh yeah, they can fuck right off.
I've been waiting on
11 episodes in, and I get to say it.
I've been wanting to drop one of them for a while.
I've been holding back my for so long.
You got any more?
I'm gonna go home
Man, we would-
today and make my own personal bleep sound.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's good.
I'm gonna go home.
Send it to me tonight because I have to edit this thing tonight. Yeah.
It's gonna be a yeah.
Yeah. We just went from like super emotional, like
To just
laughing and
F-bombs
screaming
everywhere.
F-bombs. And that's the podcast.
That's
It's been building up for 10 weeks, y'all.
You can find us on Twitter at Nerd Grapevine. We're on Instagram, Nerd Through the Grapevine. We've got a website, bestfriendstinyinc.com. Marcus is on,
Snapchat.
no, what's,
No,
I don't know, probably.
No.
What's the music one?
SoundCloud.
SoundCloud. Yeah. Look up I'm Electric Man. It's one word on SoundCloud. You can listen to Marcus's amazing music, which he's going to be making for the podcast as well very soon. That's
gonna be some
that's
funny
sincere.
stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
we love it.
Are there other things I'm supposed to say?
Yes.
No.
this part?
Bye.
No.
Is that not
When
one?
life gives you grapes,
Oh, you take them, okay, and you put them in a Ziploc bag, and before you put them in the Ziploc bag, you want to dry them out just a little bit, like pat them with a paper towel so they're not super wet. But then you put them in the freezer, and you let the grapes freeze, and you can either use them as ice in like wine if you prefer a chilled wine. And you don't want ice melting in it and watering down the wine, or you just eat them like candy, and they taste absolutely amazing whenever they're frozen.
Oh my
And then
God.
if they're frozen, you can deep fry them that same way. Yeah,
No, do
throw
not.
them
No,
right
Rooster,
into the fryer.
do not do this. Do not
throw,
do this.
Throw
Rooster,
frozen grapes into the
don't.
fryer. If
Rooster,
you love me,
Rooster,
you will throw frozen
Rooster,
grapes
no!
into the fryer.